When you have confidence and you have confidence in yourself, everything just seems suddenly to start working. And,
Mm,
it's when things are working, you get that flywheel effect. And so one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. And then suddenly you wake up one day and you think, wow, what a great life I'm living, and how happy am I, and how content do I feel? And I think I've got to a point in my life now, having had a couple of times where I've had to pivot, and a few bold moves, and knowing that I can do that and feeling more confident in myself, that I that whatever I take on next, I might throw myself in the deep end, but I'm probably going to be able to swim. And,
yeah.
surrounding yourself with people too, your cheerleaders, your advisory board, your mentors, it's so important to have people to bounce things off. And I think, you in your coaching, Emma, you would see people probably come to you with a real lack of confidence.
I mean, confidence is such an intangible thing, but it really is so integral, and particularly in that for someone who is actively job searching, it's really challenging, because the longer that process goes on, and the more knocks you take, it's human nature, down the confidence goes, and then it becomes a little bit kind of self-fulfilling.
Yeah.
But it's to your earlier point as well about challenging yourself, and putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. I think it's really hard the very first time, when you don't have any evidence, when you don't have that kind of track record to look back on and go, well, look, I've done this. I've done this lots of times before. Not this exact thing, but put myself in uncomfortable positions lots of times before. I back myself. I know I can figure it out. Like, to me, that's real confidence. It's that very, very first step, when you don't have that kind of stack of evidence. That step, I think you do just kind of have to be brave and figure it out. But as you go on, yes, you're taking on new things. Yes, you're doing things that you haven't done before, but you've got that confidence in yourself to say, well, I figured it out in the past. I'll figure it out again. And that, I think, is a really powerful thing, because that's when you kind of feel a little bit unstoppable, of like, well, yeah, I know I can figure it out. I back myself.